Yo, what's up, guys? It's Juice. This is setting sail on Saturday. Um, Before I get into the ODAN stuff, I want to just, you know, tell you guys about a small win that I had earlier today, or actually, just now. Um, so I've been feeling pretty beat up. The blisters on my heels have made it so that I can't wear shoes. Today was leg day, and I knew going in it was going to be difficult. But I woke up this morning and like I was having difficulty getting up, standing, walking around, sitting down, just really, really painful. And I had kind of one of those moments where I was like, is this what's going to break me? Is this the day where I don't go to the gym? And I thought about it for most of the day. I didn't go on my run, didn't do my orient the day. Probably not going to do my, fuck it. I'm going to do my anchor of the night and my Saturday review. But yeah, I just like was feeling kind of defeated. Um, but I decided just to focus on the present and do, what I could to mitigate the soreness and make it so that I could get into the gym today. So I spent, from waking up at like 8 or 9, till 4, I was like massaging my legs, excuse me, drinking tons of water. I have like a massage gun, you know, hitting my legs with that, taking naps, elevating my legs so that I don't know why, but like swimmers do that when they're feeling really sore in their legs. So I don't know the science behind that mechanism, but apparently it helps recovery. So I was doing that. I was just throwing everything at my legs. I'm praying that I would be able to get into the gym today. So then around 4 p.m. went to the gym. In my slides, slides on leg day. It's pretty bold. Went in, did the bike for 5 minutes, had half a granola bar, drank some water, and I just knew like everything was sore. It was going to be extremely painful. Um, so I kind of went back to the advice that I gave you guys yesterday for Fitness Friday, determined that it was a physical challenge, um, looking for ways that I can lower the level of intensity, but still feel like I'm making progress and I'm pushing myself, and doing what I can with what I have, right? So after the bike, I got off. I didn't even go into squats or anything. I just sat down and massaged my leg for like 5 minutes. Um, and my legs felt a little bit better, but it was pretty sore. It hurt to go down the stairs to the all the racks. So once I finished massaging my legs, went down the stairs to the racks, and I figured, today is gonna be more of like a mobility type day. So I set the rack up so I could do Bulgarian split squats, um, which in hindsight probably was not a good idea. But I knew going into it I wasn't gonna load it crazy, so I figured it'll be okay. I'll kind of get a little bit more movement, a lot more or deeper of a range of motion, um, because I'm isolating each leg, each side. Um, so I set that up, and then I have this kind of warm up routine that I do inconsistently, where you hold like a weight in your hands and you tuck your elbows in between your legs, and it kind of just presses you down and enables you to sit really deep in a squat, opens up your hips, and kind of works the muscles that enable you to dorsiflex your foot. So I did that for a little bit, did some calf stretching, did some lunge stretching, um, just everything that I could to kind of ease the pain that I knew that I was getting myself into. So then I, sit up the bar, did a couple, 5 on each leg with the bar Bulgarians. Um, you know, Redid my stretching, calf stretching. I don't know, Asian squat with a weight stretch, and then I loaded up like 25 on a side. Back in the day, I could do 2 plates, but I wasn't gonna try that. There's no way. So I did 25, did a set of 10 each leg. 25 felt good. Went back, did more stretching. Walked by the glute ham machine, and then was kind of like, I'm gonna do some spinal erector raises. So you basically normally when you get in the glute ham machine, you put your legs in, and you can do like sit-ups. You can do what do you call those? Good mornings. You can do all kinds of things in that orientation. But I got in upper body first, so I had my hips on top of the pads, and I was grabbing onto the slots where you put your legs, and I was just my lower. How do I do this with the camera? Okay, my lower body's like this. This is my upper body. This is my lower body. Upper body is holding on to the machine. Hips are resting. Hips are resting on the pads, and I just went like this. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure there's a name for it, but it really works your lower back, and that's been an issue area for me. So I just walked by and saw, and I was like, you know what? If ever there's a day that I'm gonna get back into this, I'm gonna do it today. So I kind of added that to my little circuit thing that I had going. Um, did a set of 10 with that. Went back, put a plate on each side for the Bulgarians. Did 10 each leg. Went back into the stretching routine. Went back to the glute ham machine. Did the, leg raise, whatever. Felt better. Put a 25 on both sides. Did a set of 10 on each leg. Redid the circuit. The stretching, the Asian squat with a weight, the leg raises, or I don't know. I'm gonna look up what the name of that exercise is, but did that. Was feeling pretty good, but I knew that I was gonna end up hurting myself if I kept pushing, because I basically was like, "Fuck it, I'll just put 2 plates on." So I kind of had a moment of clarity, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna stop here. This is good enough for today. Like I know my body, I know me, and I don't want to push when I know I could get injured, especially if you're doing like Bulgarians with a barbell on your back. If I fuck shit up, if I'm imbalanced, because I was feeling a little bit imbalanced, even on those lower weights, and you drop that shit, you're snapping your leg, like because your leg is resting on the bench, and like one leg's on the bench, one leg's on the floor. You got the barbell on your back. You're going up and down, up and down, up and down. That thing slips, which my grip's strong, so I wouldn't let it slip. But sometimes you lean in one direction, left or right, or whatever. Accidents happen, right? And I know the worst case scenario, and I know the chance of that happening. So like the expected value of the worst case scenario, I just wasn't willing to risk it. So switched gears, went to the leg extension machine, and just did isometric holds. So I just straightened legged out, 30-second isometric holds on the leg extension machine. Started at like 80. This is both legs, not single legs. Most of the time I do single leg, but I did both legs today. Started out on 80, went to I think 100 or 120, and then went to 140 or 160. So 3 sets. Went to the leg curl machine, did the same thing, except I started at 100, 120, 140. And by then I was feeling a lot better. Like my legs, there had been some blood pumping. It felt like they were flushed out. I know I'm going to feel sore as shit tomorrow and probably, the subsequent days after, but in the moment I was feeling really good. So I went to the, I call them the good girl, bad girl machines, but they're the abductor and adductor machines. So where you're, resisting the weight and opening, and that works your glutes, or you're resisting the weight closing, and that works kind of your IT band, and kind of like that, the muscles inside your leg that help you, close them together. So what did I do? I did isometrics, 30-second isometrics, and then 10 reps after. So on the bad girl, the adductor, I did, what did I do? 190, so 30-second hold at 190, and then 10, fast concentric, slow eccentric reps, and then I went up to 235 and did the same thing, and then I went to 250 or 260 and did the same thing. And then I moved over to the abductor machine, the one where you're sitting and it works your glutes. You're spreading your legs away from your body or from your midline. And I did kind of the same thing, but lighter weight. So I did, I want to say something crazy light, like 140. Did 140, 30-second hold, 10 reps. Felt pretty good about it. So moved up, went to 160. I wanted to say 190, but I think it was probably 160. Did the same thing and then went to 190 and did the same thing. And I was feeling pretty good. So I got up, I was kind of looking around. I knew I had abs to do. I knew, you know, I didn't really hit the mark with squats. So I was looking around and I saw what's it called? It's the booty builder, the hip thrust machine. Saw it and I had like a moment of inspiration. So I said, you know what, I'm going to hop in here and I'm going to do it. And my glutes are already sore because I did the abduction machine, or abduction machine. And I'm going to do that. So went in, strapped in, put a plate on there. I mean, proportionally to my weight and how much I squat, it's not a lot, but I was already fatigued and sore and tired. So it felt like a good weight for me. Did 10 reps of that. Felt good. Slept 25 on. Did 10 reps of that. I was really focusing on holding at the top and then, a 3-second lowering phase and exploding up over a second or a second and a half. So it felt like time under tension was pretty good, even though the weight wasn't crazy. But I was sore, like it worked me. And then for my last set, I did 2 plates. So banged that out, felt pretty good. Got a mat, did some ab wheel and Russian twists. That went pretty well. Did 3 sets of that. Ab wheel, I kind of just went to failure usually for me. On the first set, that's like probably around 40 or 50, down and backs. And then second set, because that's like failure for me. So then second set is closer to like 15, 20, and then third set is like 10, 15 for the ab wheel. And then Russian twists, I did 20, 10 hits each side for all 3 sets. And after that, I felt pretty good. Like my legs weren't sore. I felt like I had done some work in the gym. I was feeling good. So I went back up. I was still in my slides. Got in the spin machine. Slides were too big for the pedals. Like the width was too big. So I took them off and just did the bike in my socks. Like a pedestrian. Or, I don't know. I don't know. Why am I stuck on like looking for a word for this? I did it with my socks on. So I did 30 minutes of cycling. That felt pretty good. I started slow. It was kind of around 140 watts. Kind of maintained that for 5 minutes and then kind of got a fire lit under me. So then I started upping the pace and was kind of hovering around 170 for the next 15 minutes and then bumped to 180 for the next, maybe 5 minutes and then 190 for the last 5 minutes. So it averaged out to probably just shy of 170 watts for the whole thing. And I think probably the reading was like 330 calories. Although, I don't know how accurate the calorie estimation is for those machines. But nonetheless, that's kind of what went down today. And it felt like a small win. And I figured I'd share it because in the greater context of the week, I know things, I really dropped the ball on like adhering to my schedule this week. And so I've been trying to cultivate small wins and build momentum and just kind of slowly build back to the full routine. But, or not, but I'm going to put markers in this video if people want to skip this like preamble because it doesn't necessarily really tie into the direct theme of the video, which is kind of looking at the week in context. So juice, make sure you do that and then cut this out, or don't cut this out and do that, but make sure you get it done. Cool, right. So now we're kind of looking at ODAN. So this is kind of the week in perspective, assessing the routines, the protocols, all that good stuff. Um, I could have thought more about how I wanted to present this, but for this video, I'm just going to kind of read off what my logs say, and then from there, kind of not give justifications, but just kind of evaluate, is this good, is this bad, what can I do to do better at this, and then kind of go from there. Yeah, dark theme is superior to light theme, so I had to change that. And then what else? There was something else that I wanted to do. Oh yeah, not do, but in the future I will have a nice, more I don't know, cohesive, well-oiled video structure for ODAN because I feel like there's a lot of potential for this series, and I want to take it as seriously as it deserves to be taken. Okay, so let's get into this guy. I'm just pulling up the form here. Boom. Go. And awesome, I'm in the wrong account. Alright, boom. 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 Alright, so. Alright, I did not orient the day at all this week. I assume I did not anchor the night at all this week. And I definitely didn't do any weekly assessments. So that's literally the state of things. In terms of morning runs, did not run at all this week. Did not even get up to go walk this week. I yeah, it was just a real bad performance, a bad showing out. And it sucks, I have nothing to lie about, so I'll always tell you guys when I drop the ball. Even if, sometimes you battle with, man, like I set out with this goal and I want to, do this whole YouTube and document things and show that I'm progressing and I want it to be a success story. But if in actuality, there are setbacks and things aren't going smoothly, it doesn't do me any good to lie about it or to, um, you know, try and rationalize it or, kind of make excuses, right? So that's the face of it is I dropped the ball really this week and last week. So last 14 days have really just been nothing, nothing like it's a blip, like it's just like fast forward in time, because I dropped the ball and everything. So that's the state of things. Today's Saturday. I'm gonna anchor the night tonight. I'm going to do my weekly assessment. That'll give me some small wins, and then we'll keep building from that tomorrow. Tomorrow, I know I'm not going to be able to run, but I'm going to wake up. I'm not going to be up at 4. I'm going to be up at 6. I'll go on a walk, 30-minute walk, promise. I'm going to orient the day, and then we're going to kind of move from there. And you guys will have a cool little shop talk video that I think will be fun. Other than that, I think, the story is pretty consistent along with everything else. Really not hitting the marks with regards to time investment in all of those domains that I want to get better at. Increasing my technical knowledge, acquiring, greater vocabulary, greater familiarity with Spanish, working on English. English has, like in the hierarchy things, English has been underground. It's been, on the back burner, the back burner of the back burner. I've done very little, if anything, to work on, improving my vocabulary, writing, journaling, those kinds of things. So, in the forefront of my mind is thinking about ways to make it easy for me to do that because that is an important facet of language. I think in terms of the game progress, I'm not thrilled, but I think, perform like, I guess performance has been satisfactory. I feel like I'm making progress. Um, Things are coming along. The whole modeling and sculpting a character and rigging it and animating it was something that I was extremely apprehensive about, because it like I don't even have any familiarity with Blender or anything. So I was really kind of in doubt of whether I could do it. But I'm happy to see that I've been making small wins. I've been fairly consistent about putting in the time that I need to learn more about the tools, figure out what works, figure out what I'm trying to create. Um, so I'm happy with game progress is satisfactory. Um, Forex trading, I need to do that more. That's elevating in priority, above even acquiring technical knowledge and getting better at language. I think um, developing a skill in analyzing uh, exchange markets, looking at technical analysis, how you evaluate the value of retail stocks, all those things. Although about like retail stocks is kind of outside the scope of foreign exchange, but all those things I think are important to give you a better understanding of how money moves in modern day society. And also, once I get my feet under me with that, that'll be an easy passive stream of income that I really will only have to invest 1 to 2 hours a day. Um, that'll have a compounding effect, right? So like the more money that I am able to use, the more leverage I'm able to get when I make trades, the more like if I have a good trading plan and strategy, then the more returns I get, which in turn I can invest into making more trades, and so it becomes a positive feedback loop, right? So that's elevating in priority for me. I think technical Tuesday, acquiring more technical knowledge is going to drop down one peg, to be in level with language acquisition. Um, what else? I think that covers everything. Fitness has always been a priority, so I'm not worried about that. Suffering, I'm worried about that suffering. I'm the least worried about fitness, because I've just been doing it for fairly long. Not, I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, or the scope of many people that are fit and go to the gym, it hasn't been long. But for me, 6 years of going to the gym and having been a swimmer, since I can remember, probably 4 or 5. I kind of understand how to navigate that realm. That aside, I guess I can talk about diet too. I think the diet has been fairly good. I've been enforcing a 2 plate maximum stipulation on my dinner meal, so that I think will help me be more within the threshold of my calorie goals in order to shed some fat, shed some of the fluff, and I think that's coming along nicely. Okay, what else? Oh, and I discovered this kind of cool hack for when I'm having cravings. Um, like I'm pretty gluttonous, and when I have cravings, I can go crazy. So what I've been doing is making essentially shaved ice. So I get the big blend, or yeah, the big blender. I don't know how much volume it has, but it's fairly big. You can fill up. What can you fill up? Oh, this is perfect. One of those Simply Lemonade jugs that's like built kind of like this. You can fill that up to the top perfectly with the contents of the blender. So that kind of gives you an idea for the volume. So it must be like 1.2, 1.5 liters, I think, maybe. Maybe. I'm just pulling that number out of my ass. But I've been doing that. So I fill it up with ice. Then I also have a fruit juicer. But you could do it with a blender too. I juice all the fruit, If you don't have a juicer, you just blend the fruit up and then filter, like let it sit and filter out, and put it in like a, what do you call those things? I don't want to say sieve, but like, one of those things that filters the water out. So you do that, you get the juice, pour it in the ice, add water. Um, you know, I've been adding sugar. Down the line, I'm gonna cut that out, but for now, that just makes it taste better, and I like it. And I'm willing to bite the bullet on the calories. I think a cup of sugar is like 600 or 800 calories, I want to say. But don't quote me on that. But I think that's about right. Um, so yeah, so the whole thing, a liter to a liter and 1.5 liters is, you know, basically under 1,000 calories. And if I drink, which I do, I drink it all in one go, then I don't need to eat anything else. Again, my cravings are fully sated because my stomach is full of all that liquid. I guess the downside is you piss a lot, but other than that, um, it's a price I'm willing to pay. Another thing, I want to start doing a filler word counter. I've noticed in my videos that I'm saying and like and using all these filler words that I think detract from the fluidity of my presentation of my ideas. So I'm gonna make a fun little challenge. I'm gonna either do like a push-up challenge. Every filler word that I've said counts for 5 push-ups or something, and I have to get them done by the end of the week. And kind of count that each week. I know I'm not gonna just ignore all the fillers that I've kind of been accruing. So I'm in filler word debt right now. But once I kind of figure out how much in debt I am, I'll go back and make a fun little challenge for doing my penance. So yeah, so look forward to that moving forward. Fuck it, I'll throw it in. I'll make another video of me just doing the push-ups, because I used to be pretty diligent about doing push-ups. I like push-up workouts. I think they're very effective if you're doing them high volume and you're not, and you're keeping them within a pretty challenging time frame. I think it's hard to beat. It takes a lot of mental strength. So yeah, so look forward to that. Tomorrow will be Sunday Shop Talk. Try to have some interesting stories for you. Definitely some interesting things have happened this week, so I just need to take some time and kind of gather everything and organize it and outline how I'm gonna have one thing flow into the next. But so that's coming down the pike. Other than that, things are looking good. I'm happy that I've been able to stay on top of this putting out videos thing. And I feel like it's getting easier. I'm getting a little bit more familiar with what I can do in DaVinci. So look forward to, the evolution of, how this content looks and how it's presented over time. And to that note, music. I think music has also been, or music production has been on the back burner this whole week. So working to get music, working to get trading their shine that they need in the week. And also a positive externality of working on music is that I can put it in my videos, and then the empty silence when I'm thinking won't be so deafening. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Appreciate you all. As always, leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think about the series so far, what you think I can work on, how you would say I'm doing. Do I need some tough love? Do I need to be a little bit kinder to myself? Different perspectives are always helpful, and I think taking the average of all the feedback I get is as close to an unbiased estimator as I can really get. So would appreciate that. That being said, stay juicy.